Ranked at number 7 on this list, State of Decay 2 distinguishes itself as a compelling entry in the zombie survival game genre. Developed by Undead Labs, the game offers a unique amalgamation of open-world exploration, base building, and community management. State of Decay 2's strength lies in its unwavering emphasis on the survival aspects of a zombie apocalypse. Players find themselves navigating a post-apocalyptic world teeming with the undead, while simultaneously undertaking the challenging task of establishing and maintaining a community of survivors. The decisions made in managing resources, relationships, and base structures intricately shape the group's chances of survival. The game unfolds within a vast open-world environment, granting players the freedom to explore and scavenge for essential supplies. What adds an extra layer of realism is the dynamic simulation of the survivor community. Characters develop relationships, face personal struggles, and even succumb to the relentless zombie threat. State of Decay 2 masterfully crafts a sense of urgency and tension. The perpetual need for resources, the unpredictable nature of zombie encounters, and the constant threat of losing a valuable community member create a gripping and immersive experience. However, its placement at number 7 is attributed to certain technical limitations and a somewhat repetitive gameplay loop. While the core mechanics stand solid, the game doesn't introduce groundbreaking innovations to the genre. Additionally, some players may find the graphics and animations less polished compared to other titles on the list. In contrast, Dead Rising, our 6th entry, distinguishes itself with a unique approach to the zombie apocalypse. Released in 2006, the game introduces players to an open-world environment teeming with the undead, providing an exhilarating and often humorous experience. What sets Dead Rising apart is its emphasis on player creativity and resourcefulness. Players assume the role of photojournalist Frank West, trapped in a shopping mall overrun by hordes of zombies. The game encourages exploration and experimentation as players scavenge for weapons and everyday items to wield against the undead. From baseball bats to lawnmowers, almost anything can be turned into a makeshift weapon, fostering a sense of improvisation and unpredictability. The game's real-time structure, with a ticking clock representing the passage of time, adds a layer of urgency and strategic decision-making. Players must prioritize tasks and objectives, creating a dynamic and evolving gameplay experience. The variety of missions and side quests, along with the ability to rescue survivors, contributes to the game's replayability, offering multiple paths and outcomes. Dead Rising successfully combines horror with humor, creating a unique atmosphere that allows players to face the undead apocalypse with a touch of absurdity. Resident Evil 2 Remake, our 5th entry released in 2019, stands as a shining example of how to reimagine a classic while preserving the essence of what made the original game iconic. The game received widespread acclaim for its meticulous attention to detail, modernized gameplay mechanics, and masterfully crafted atmosphere that successfully marries nostalgia with innovation. At number 5, Resident Evil 2 Remake stands out for its stunning visuals. The game is a visual feast with highly detailed character models, environments, and gruesome zombies that create an immersive and chilling experience. The Raccoon City Police Department, the iconic setting of the game, has been meticulously recreated with a level of detail that enhances the sense of dread and suspense. The decision to adopt an over-the-shoulder third-person perspective, similar to Resident Evil 4, breathed new life into the gameplay. This change not only brought the series up to modern standards, but also heightened the tension by placing players closer to the action. The tight corridors and limited resources force players to make strategic decisions, enhancing the survival horror elements that define the Resident Evil franchise. Resident Evil 2 Remake also excels in narrative and character development. The intertwining stories of Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield are not only faithful to the original, but are also expanded upon to provide a more emotionally engaging experience. The supporting cast, including the menacing Mr. X, adds an extra layer of fear as players navigate the zombie-infested police station. The game's pacing is another triumph. From the initial encounter with the undead to the nerve-wracking exploration of dimly lit hallways, Resident Evil 2 Remake skillfully maintains a balance between action and horror. The sense of vulnerability, reinforced by limited resources and relentless enemies, keeps players on the edge of their seats throughout the campaign. Dying Light, released in 2015, takes its place as the 4th entry on the list of top zombie video games, and its unique blend of immersive elements and dynamic gameplay makes it a noteworthy addition to the genre. Set in a vast and open-world environment, the game plunges players into a city overrun by a zombie epidemic, adding a sense of urgency and tension to the survival experience. What sets Dying Light apart is its innovative combination of parkour and traditional zombie combat. The protagonist can seamlessly traverse the cityscape, leaping between buildings and utilizing the environment to evade or engage the undead. The day-night cycle introduces an extra layer of challenge. While daylight provides a relatively safer environment for exploration and completing missions, nightfall unleashes a more aggressive and powerful breed of zombies. This dynamic shift keeps players constantly on edge, creating a palpable sense of fear and excitement. The game's crafting system allows players to modify weapons and create unique tools for survival. This adds a strategic element to the gameplay, encouraging resourcefulness and experimentation. Moreover, the cooperative multiplayer aspect enhances the overall experience, as players can team up to tackle challenges, share resources, and engage in intense battles against the infected. In the tumultuous landscape of zombie-infested video video games. Few titles have managed to capture the essence of cooperative survival as brilliantly as Left 4 Dead 2. From the dark corridors of abandoned buildings to the chaotic streets filled with hordes of the undead, this game immerses players in a relentless struggle for survival like no other. The narrative unfolds in the aftermath of a global pandemic that has transformed most of the population into ferocious, bloodthirsty zombies. The survivors, four distinctly memorable characters, Coach, Ellis, Nick, and Rochelle, form an unlikely alliance as they navigate through the apocalyptic landscape, all while attempting to reach safety. One of the standout features of Left 4 Dead 2 is its emphasis on cooperative gameplay. The game is designed for four-player cooperative action, encouraging players to work together to overcome overwhelming odds. Each character brings a unique personality to the group, and players must rely on each other's strengths to make it through the zombie-infested campaigns. The sense of camaraderie and shared responsibility is not only vital for survival, but also adds an element of social interaction that elevates the gaming experience. The game's AI director is a groundbreaking feature that dynamically adjusts the difficulty level based on players' performance. This ensures that every playthrough is a fresh challenge, with unpredictable zombie spawns, item placements, and environmental changes. This dynamic adaptation keeps the tension high and encourages replayability, as no two experiences are ever the same. In the second position, in the dying embers of a world ravaged by a mysterious infection where humanity teeters on the precipice of extinction, emerged a game that transcended the boundaries of the zombie genre. The Last of Us, a masterpiece crafted by Naughty Dog, not only redefined storytelling in video games, but also left an indelible mark on the entire gaming industry. As the haunting melody of Gustavo Santaolalla's score sets the tone, players are thrust into the shoes of Joel, a grizzled and morally complex survivor. The narrative unfolds with a gut-wrenching prologue, delivering an emotional gut punch that immediately establishes the game's commitment to storytelling. It's not merely about zombies or infected, it's a tale of love, loss, and the struggle for survival in a world gone awry. What sets The Last of Us apart is its meticulous attention to character development. Joel's reluctant partnership with Ellie, a 14-year-old girl immune to the infection, forms the crux of the story. Their journey is a poignant exploration of the human condition, showcasing the depth and vulnerability of characters in a way seldom seen in gaming. The game's post-apocalyptic setting is a hauntingly beautiful backdrop, featuring overgrown cities, dilapidated buildings, and a world reclaimed by nature. Each environment tells a story of its own, contributing to the overarching narrative and immersing players in a world that feels both lived in and eerily desolate. At number 1 of the top, Resident Evil 4, a masterpiece that had not only redefined the survival horror genre, but had left an indelible mark on the very essence of video game storytelling. As the player assumed the role of Leon S. Kennedy, a government agent sent to rescue the president's daughter, they found themselves thrust into a chilling rural European village. The atmosphere was thick with tension, the air laced with the scent of impending doom. The game's visual prowess and meticulous attention to detail drew players into a nightmarish tapestry, where every creak of a door or distant moan of the undead stirred a sense of impending dread. What set Resident Evil 4 apart was its innovative over-the-shoulder perspective, a departure from the fixed camera angles of its predecessors. This change not only enhanced the gameplay, but also intensified the fear factor. The tight control scheme, combined with limited resources, forced players to carefully consider every move, turning each encounter with the infected into a nerve-wracking dance of survival. The narrative unfolded like a gripping thriller, weaving a tale of mysterious cults, parasitic organisms, and a sinister plot to plunge the world into chaos. The game's pacing was masterful, seamlessly transitioning between heart-pounding action and moments of quiet, atmospheric horror. The characters, from the enigmatic Ada Wong to the grotesque and terrifying Los Illuminados, added layers to the narrative, making players emotionally invested in the unfolding nightmare. Resident Evil 4 wasn't just a game, it was an interactive cinematic experience that pushed the boundaries of what storytelling in video games could achieve. The blend of fear, suspense, and occasional moments of dark humor captivated players, leaving them hooked from the first encounter with a chainsaw-wielding villager to the climactic showdowns against towering monstrosities.